AI is changing the property game, giving investors supercharged tools to sort through thousands of listings in seconds. From identifying growth hotspots to crunching suburb-level data, smart AI assistants now revolutionising how we read the market, but are they a replacement for human insight? For more to break it all down, we're joined by Tim Graham from Hotspotting, also host of the Property Playbook here on Ticker. Great to see you.
Likewise, thank you.
Now, this is interesting because you guys are fantastic when it comes to AI, but it comes with a warning.
Yeah, it does. We use AI very heavily in our business, but I suppose the warning I put out to people is AI is a fantastic tool for analysing, but you shouldn't be using it to make your decisions.
Yes, and we learn the hard way, don't we?
We often do, and in real estate, it's a very expensive exercise if you get it wrong.
So talk to us about some of the risks of getting it wrong, because everyone seems to be using AI as a tool and for probably things we don't even know about. Yeah. But when it comes to property, what are the warnings?
Look, I think firstly, we look at what AI is. A lot of people are using ChatGPT, and they ask it a question, it spits out an answer in record time. And realistically, ChatGPT could analyse every suburb in Australia in 5 seconds, when it'd take somebody generally months to do that type of thing. So AI takes shortcuts, and you also don't know where it's getting that information from. So that old saying, garbage in, garbage out, you can't really trust that information all of the time.
Yes, very much so. From an AI perspective, what is it actually good at when it comes to property?
Yeah. So a good example is we've got a report at Hotspotting called the Price Predictor Index, and basically every quarter our team has to analyse every single suburb in Australia, which is 15,000 of.
Wow.
Within that, you've pretty much got 2 markets, house and unit. So when you talk about markets, about 33,000 markets that we have to analyse and basically give it a classification as rising market, declining market, etc. So that used to take us about 9 weeks.
Wow.
Now we can produce that report in probably a week or 2, but the major analysis that we do using AI and using machine learning, which speeds up the process, that component probably takes about 2 hours.
But no doubt you have to check the data to make sure that it is actually accurate for what you're getting, right?
So what AI is fantastic at is getting rid of the noise. Rather than saying, here's 33,000 suburbs, it says, this suburb's got 3 people, this one's only had 4 sales for the year, we don't need to be looking at all that data. So it actually brings down the quantity that we really need to analyse, and that's when the human steps in.
So Hotspotting Holly is a smart AI assistant you guys use. Talk to us about the role of Hotspotting Holly.
So Hotspotting Holly, I've worked with Terry Ryder for a number of years now, and both with him within the hotspotting business, but also as a customer of hotspotting for many years. And I don't think there's a brain in the country that knows so much about so many suburbs. But
don't tell me that behind the scenes he's Hotspotting Holly,
he's a very quick typer as well. Yes, no, but he's got all of this incredible knowledge, and of most suburbs around Australia, and we distill that into our reports, right, which people can obviously access as a member or to come along and buy from the website. But if you go to ChatGPT and ask it the same question that you could ask Holly, it's going to go, ChatGPT goes over here to the public websites. Over here, it's actually, Holly is trained by
And that's where the trash in, trash out, making sure that it is getting the right information from all of the work that you guys do, that therefore it's using that information but in a simpler way. That's
exactly right. And I think, chatbots have been around for a long time. Our technology isn't about the chatbot, it's actually about the information that we feed her, and Holly's very strict in what she can and can't talk about. She has to rely purely on our research and can't go looking elsewhere on the internet, because it's a controlled environment, which means that somebody can come along and ask Holly a question such as, what's the current vacancy rate of X suburb? She's powered by PropTrack with that, or she can come along and say, listen, I'm looking for a property that can give me positive cash flow and I want really strong capital growth, and she'll analyse all of the data that we've supplied her, including our reports, and give you an answer.
Because it's all about credibility at the end of the day for organisations like ours, right? Whether it's property or news, and you might have a wonderful mind like Terry Ryder and yourself there. Don't sell yourself short. But if the client has a bad experience with something along the way, all of that good work and therefore the importance of getting AI right is right up there.
Absolutely. I think, for us, I'd say 80% of our business is real estate professionals. So we're not just educating the consumer, but we're hoping the end consumer who's buying that piece of real estate is getting the right data as well. So we put that information out there for real estate agents and buyers advocates to access, and then obviously they're sharing those insights with their customers. So the more we get it right, the more members we get, because their customers are making good money.
And I love the simplicity of the point that AI is an analyst. It is not an advisor. And I think so many of us use it as an advisory role, right? Because we are looking for quick, easy, cheap answers to everything.
Yeah, and I think there's two parts to this. One is, where do I buy? That's the location in the suburb. The next part is, what do I buy? And for a lot of us, you can say, well, the data's told me I've got to go buy in Hobart, for instance. But without actually having boots on the ground and someone walking through and looking at that property, AI could make a very bad decision.
Well, I mean, it's like dating, right? Like if you have AI choosing a profile for you and you don't know what they actually are like and their presence and their warmth and all those things,
you could get catfished.
You could get catfished. Let's leave it there for now, just in case we do. Always appreciate your
Thanks,
insights,
Aaron.
of course. Tim Graham there from Hot Spotting. That is the program for now, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.